What is going on YouTube? Anthony Olan here, and I want to try to make this video quick because I have some thoughts about Sony and PlayStation and how I feel that lately they've been making mistakes and are a bit anti-consumer. Now, just to start with my history with PlayStation, I've been a PlayStation fan since day one. My family had the original PlayStation. Me and my brother had the PS1 with the attached screen. We've had some really cool games back on the PS1 like Area 51, Driver, Spec Ops Covert Assault. I've played Duke Nukem Time to Kill, which a kid shouldn't play back in the day, but I did. We had a PS2 that came bundled with Jack 3, which was freaking awesome. Back when there was EB Games at the time, we used games were so cheap back then. We bought an army of used PS2 games. We had a whole collection. We had Burnout 3, we had Simpsons Hit and Run, GTA 3, Vice City, San Andreas, Driver 1, Driver 2. Not Driver. Getaway 1, Getaway 2. I'm getting my games confused. I had Tomb Raider, Angel of Darkness, Hulk Ultimate Destruction, Spider-Man 2, Spider-Man 3, Spider-Man 1, movie games. So many games on the PS2 that we've played. Warriors and Bully and my first ever survival horror game was Silent Hill 2 on the PS2. So I have a long history of PlayStation. Me and my family, we've been on PS3, PS4, we have PS5s. So I love PlayStation, but I'm one of those fans that when my favorite company, whether it's Sony and PlayStation or Apple, when they do stupid shit, I call them out on it, and I hope more people will do the same because these companies do indeed do stupid shit and they need to be called out on. Just like Microsoft has been failing and the fanboys kind of been ignoring what Microsoft is doing and acting like everything is all right when it's not. Just like Apple releasing a $20 cloth to clean your devices, and it's like, dude, I can buy $1 cloth for a cloth for $1 at Walmart that does the same thing, just without the Apple logo on it. But that's besides the point. I call out Sony for some of their decisions and my recent disappointment with them. And one of my recent disappointments that I want to start with is Rise of the Ronin, because even when they had gameplay trailers and presentations on it, from the day one, I even talked about it on my podcast, the Three Amigos podcast, with my buddies, and I said, look, the game looks horrible, it performs really crappy, and people like to say that at least graphics are not a big deal for gaming. It is, and whether you say it's my opinion or not, I mean, it's my opinion, yes, but I feel that graphics is a big part of games in today's age, because unless the game has a specific art style to look that way, like it's Minecraft or Stardew Valley, unless they chose that art style to run with, the game should not look or perform the way Rise of the Ronin did. It was clearly not an art style choice. It was, from what I researched, a lack of support from PlayStation, because whether it was Team Ninja or Ninja 3, I can't remember which of the two made the game. One did Rise of the Ronin, one did Hellblade. So whichever one it was that did Rise of the Ronin, from my understanding, they didn't seek the extra support from PlayStation, and that's what kind of made them release this game in the current state that it is. I didn't like the story, I didn't like the combat, I didn't like the graphics, I didn't like the environments, the gliding was bad, the grapple was bad. I get that it's not in the same timeline as the Batman games, but the grappling and the gliding was really horrible. And a lot of people compare this game to Ghost of Tsushima for obvious reasons. They're both take place in Japan. Both have a similar character in terms of a samurai and Ronin. They're pretty similar. Horseback traversal as well, and a large map to explore. But Ghost of Tsushima is the superior game in every aspect. The character, the story, the environments, the world that you get to explore, the combat, the traversal, the stealth, everything about it is just better. And of course, it looks amazing. And compare Ghost of Tsushima to Rise of the Ronin in graphics and performance, no contest, okay? So just my side thought on it. If you like Rise of the Ronin, cool. You're a fan of it, that's awesome. I'm not. I thought it sucked. Moving on. Live service. I know Destiny is like their first big live service project type of thing with PlayStation, because they have like that partnership with Bungie or that ownership of Bungie, whatever. And I don't know if Destiny 2 is either over finally or it's almost over with their updates and everything. That was a long running game. There was a time where Destiny 2 was like $1 at GameStop or free on PlayStation Plus or whatever. But with that being said, live service has been a disaster. Helldivers 2 was pretty fun when I played it with some buddies from college, but My fun was very limited. It died out very quickly. I know the studio made some decisions that made the game bad and people were angry. Then they made some other choices to fix it and people were happy again. And it kind of went up and down, up and down. I don't know what new updates they've had recently because I don't have the game anymore. What I have seen for some previous YouTube videos, it wasn't enough to make me go back into the game, which is why I no longer have it. But then you have live service like Concord, which I know that they had initially planned like 20 or 30 live service games they wanted to release, and then they dropped that number down to like 10 or 15. I can't remember the exact numbers, but we get Concord, which was a disaster, probably the fastest shutdown of a studio for a game after release, fastest game being taken off the market and shut down, possibly next to the day before, I think it was called, from PC. But Concord was just a massive disaster, and it hopefully is adding fuel to the idea that Sony should not do any more live service games because of what Concord did. But of course, Sony's going to still do live service games anyway. But I think the live service really screwed them up with Concord, and the sales, it cost them a lot of money. So the sales didn't, get them the return that they wanted. It didn't get them the profit that they wanted. And now we have the PS5 Pro. Now, this is the main point of my video, the PS5 Pro, and why I think it's anti-consumer and why I don't like what they're doing with the PS5 Pro, okay? For those who already have a PS5 and have a physical collection, if they upgrade to a PS5 Pro and they have the base model PS5, they have to buy a separate disk drive that may still be out of stock. If they have a PS5 Slim and they already have a disk drive for that, cool, they can just put it into the new Pro, no problem. You probably hear some background noise, the stupid maintenance guys are doing the leaf blower again. They already did it this morning. They're doing it again. So anyway, and I tried recording this video like 5 or 10 times already. I'm just over it. So I'm going to just go and continue. So just deal with the background noise anyway. But if you have a PS5 Slim and you have a disk drive, cool. But if you don't have a disk drive, or you have the OG PS5 and you want a PS5 Pro, you have to buy a disk drive separately if you have physical games, which a lot of us from my age do. And the disk drive may still be out of stock. If you want to do vertical standing, you have to buy a separate vertical stand that's not included, like the PS5 base model did have. Again, if you have a Slim and you have a vertical stand, you're fine there. But let's say you're someone who has the OG PS5, or you don't have a PS5 and you've been waiting for the Pro, and you want to buy your games. Let's say you have a base PS5 and you have physical games, or you don't have a PS5 and you want to buy physical games. Guess what? You got to pay over $700 for the console. You got to pay an additional $80 to $100 with taxes for the disk drive. You have to pay another, what is it for the stand? Like $50 for the vertical stand. So you're already paying up to $1,000 for a PS5 Pro, when a base model PS5, or if you can get one, or a PS5 Slim, is $500 before tax, sometimes on sale for $450 before tax, and it's gonna run the games amazingly anyway. The PS5 Pro was trying to showcase these games to take advantage of the hardware, and they're showing games like Last of Us Part 2, which is a PS4 game that got remastered for PS5, and the remaster was pretty basic. They're showing Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart, which already looks and performs amazingly. Spider-Man 2, another one, it already looks and performs amazingly. And what they're showcasing here is the option to use, I believe it was the resolution mode with 60 frames rather than 30 frames. I believe that's what they were trying to push, right? But they're saying things like in Spider-Man 2, you can see more cars driving in the distance than you can on the base model PS5. But who's playing Spider-Man to see the cars in the distance? We're swinging through New York City. We're swinging through the tall buildings. I'm actually from New York City. I've lived there for most of my life. So I know from personal experience, as well as what the game shows you, New York City is full of tall buildings, that we're going to be focusing on that and not to crash into a building rather than the cars in the distance. Like, that's ridiculous. They say Gran Turismo has more reflections on your car, so you can see the opposing racers on the side of your car. I'm not focused on the other car's reflection on my car in Gran Turismo. I'm focused on whether or not they're passing me in the race, and whether or not I have sharp turns coming up, so I know how much I need to hit the brakes to make those turns. So you're basically saying these improvements are really cool, but they're taking your focus away from the main picture. And you're going to end up not performing in the game as well as you can because you're focusing on the stupid, minute details. And then you have, like I said, Last of Us 2 was one of the games they're showcasing. It's a PS4 game that got remastered for PS5. So with the PS5 Pro being a big issue, I also have an issue with these remakes and remasters because we see a lot of it from every company, every console, sure, but PlayStation has been doing quite a bit of it lately. There's rumors of a Days Gone remaster coming out. There's rumors of a God of War, original God of War remake, which that's fine. PS2 game being remade for PS5 ground up, just like Silent Hill 2, that's fine. But why is there an Until Dawn remaster when the original game already looks amazing and playable on PS5? Why is Horizon Zero Dawn getting a 85 gigabyte remaster that is either $10 to upgrade or $50 if you don't have a copy of the game? Same thing with Last of Us 2. It already looked great. It was at the end of PS4, so it looked great. It got the $10 upgrade for the remaster or a $50 price tag for a brand new copy, which has a large install size but doesn't do much to improve the game's visuals. Naughty Dog in particular really frustrates me when they have Last of Us Part 1 was a PS3 game. They remastered it for PS4. They made it playable on PS5. They remade Last of Us Part 1 from the ground up for PS5. And the ground up remake, while it looks better than the PS3 version and the PS4 version, obviously, it doesn't look as much better to say, oh my God, it's like night and day completely. We're going to buy the new one for $60, $70 because it looks amazing. No, the game still doesn't look amazing. There's still things that looks a bit funny with the game. And games like Ghost of Tsushima looks better than Last of Us remake. Spider-Man 2 in various parts looks better than Last of Us ground up remake. And Naughty Dog seems to only want to focus on Last of Us. They had a Factions game they were working on, which would have been awesome, and they canceled it. They told us that if they made a sequel, it wouldn't be Joel and Ellie, and what happened, the sequel was primarily Ellie, because Joel did die. Spoiler if you haven't known by now, it's been, 5 years already? And they want to make a third game, which probably will be Ellie or Abby or something. And my thing about that is, if you want to stay in this franchise and do another Last of Us, you have an entire planet that was affected by the apocalypse, by the cordyceps, so you can do another country. You could do brand new characters, new locations. You could do this story of, maybe this country over here, whether it's like London in Europe or whatever, UK, Europe, whatever you choose, maybe over here, even though they are disconnected from the rest of the world in terms of communication, phones and everything, maybe they handled the infection better than America did and didn't spiral out the way that America did. Like there isn't a Firefly and military war. Maybe things are a bit more civilized, and then it leads to something drastic, to have a plot, right? But it could be completely different and could be really fun to explore. Naughty Dog also has the Jak and Daxter license that they don't do anything with because I guess the last game was a failure, sure. But if you're going to do these remakes anyway, ground up remake the trilogy of Jak and Daxter, or even just 2 or 3 or one of those two. Do a new sequel. You have a lot of I have ideas that I can give them if they want it, but there's a lot they can do with this world, whether it's a remake, a remaster, or a brand new story. It could even be, at this point, it's been so many years, Jack's kid. It could be Jack Jr. or whatever, Jak and Daxter Juniors or something, just to get something for Jak and Daxter to have fun with. Now, Guerrilla Games similar to that with Horizon, because we have Horizon Zero Dawn, we have Horizon Forbidden West, which Horizon Forbidden West came bundled with my PS5, one of my absolute favorite games. I love it. And now we have Horizon Zero Dawn Remaster, which I am doing a review on, working on it, and the remaster was $10 upgrade or $50 brand new price tag. Now we have Lego Horizon, which is kind of a retelling of the first game in Lego form. Lego games are fun and everything, but do we need another Horizon game that's retelling the story of the first game when we already have the base game and the remaster? Then we have Horizon Call of the Mountain, the VR game. I thought it was fun when I played the demo for it. I did have the VR headset briefly. I won't go into it too much with that, but I thought the demo was fun, even though you don't play as Aloy. But it was a full price, digital only game. I have a hard time paying full price for digital games, except for Alan Wake 2. I took a gamble on Alan Wake 2 on my Xbox and absolutely loved it. Loved Alan Wake 2, and I no longer have my Xbox, so I might grab a copy physically for PS5 down the road. But they want to do a third Horizon game, which, sure, fine, finish the trilogy if you're going to do a trilogy. They want to recast Lance Reddick because he passed away, whenever they get that and can make the game cool. It's going to be hard to replace Lance Reddick, honestly. So I don't know what their plans are, but do we need this Lego game to come out for a retelling of the first game? Even though it is coming on Nintendo as well, so it's kind of their way to laugh at Xbox and fight with Xbox, but do a third game, do some cool things with it. I have some ideas that I would like to see. I'll do a separate video about that later, but if they're gonna do more games with Horizon, because they don't want to use their license for Killzone. They say Killzone is done. They're no longer doing Killzone. If they want to have more Killzone games, they'll give it to another developer or something. But again, just like Last of Us, there's apocalypse, or this is a post-apocalypse. There's a whole world that exists that was affected by machines. So show us what the other world areas look like. Whether it's, I want it maybe like a London in Horizon's universe, maybe a Paris or something. To wrap up this video, it's been going on longer than I wanted to. Live service, bad. PS5 Pro, potentially bad, and anti-consumer. Remakes and remasters, they're good, but excessive remake and remasters, constant remake and remasters, bad. Sucker Punch is doing a sequel to Ghost of Tsushima, which is going to be awesome, of course. But can we get Infamous to come back, please? Maybe I keep saying remake and remaster when I already complained about it, but games that should get remake or remaster would be PS2 and PS3 games like Infamous 1 and 2, God of War 1 and 2, Chains of Olympus, Ghost of Sparta, Jak and Daxter trilogy. I did say crap about Last of Us remake, ground up remake when it's a PS3 game, yes, but that is separate. There was a PS3 game, they got a PS4 remaster that looked great, and the remaster is playable on PS5. So they already kind of did that. So I hope that kind of explains everything and why I feel Sony's been screwing up and they need to go back and change things. But let me know in this video, let me know in the comments about this video, what you thought about the video. I'm kind of my brain is already scrambled. I've been trying to make this video like 5-6 times today. So let me know in the comments what you think about my video. Is it good? Did you like what I'm saying? Do you understand what I'm saying? Do you think I'm complaining for no reason? Do you agree or disagree? Let me know in the comments, and subscribe to the channel. We finally hit 1,500 subscribers. I've been doing this channel for about 4 years. Finally hit 1,500 subscribers, and just keep it pushing to get to 2,000 subscribers. Please and thank you. So that's going to be it for today. I'm Anthony Olan. Check out my other videos on the channel, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Look out for my review of Horizon Zero Dawn Remaster. It should be out in a couple of days. So see you guys later. Have a good one. Bye for now.